I think this should be direct to camera, don't you? I think this is like, hey you, right there. Yeah. This is how much you're gonna spend on a backsplash. Okay, you guys have asked and we have listened. This is going to be one of a 3-part series. Low, medium, and high kitchen budgets. This is gonna be number intensive, so if you wanna pause, go grab yourself a pencil and some paper. We're gonna break it down line by line. These are all real projects that we filmed previously, and please remember that there are real clients who have agreed very kindly to share these numbers with us. So let's just remember there are real human beings on the other side of social media. Another caveat I want to say is that these projects are all local to Toronto, so you will experience some difference in labor pricing and delivery costs based on where your project is, and also, of course, these are done in Canadian funds. Now, every project has its unique foibles, but so that you're looking at apples to apples, we're going to consider in every case that this kitchen was done totally gutted and built new, and we're going to break the numbers down based on per square foot, because kitchens can be different sizes. So you're going to have an idea of, if I'm building a 200 square foot kitchen and I want it to be low budget or high budget, how much should I be allowing? Our first kitchen is our low budget kitchen. It's 130 square feet, and it is based in Haliburton, Ontario. First category we're going to talk about are appliances. Believe it or not, I have not memorized the numbers for every project. In this kitchen, they spent $1,400 on the fridge, $1,200 on the dishwasher, $700 on the stove, and $500 on the hood. So that's a total of $3,800 for the appliances. Our next category is millwork, or you may call it cabinetry. For this project, the clients went for simple big box store cabinetry. They had 35.5 linear feet, lowers plus uppers, and they spent $3,761, meaning they spent roughly $106 per linear foot of cabinetry. This is an important thing to bear in mind when you're pricing out cabinetry. Just make sure that whoever's giving you a quote is including for lowers and uppers in the linear foot calculation they're giving you. It would be a real shame to get to the point of ordering and realize you have to double your millwork budget. Next category is countertops. They bought their countertops at the same big box store where they bought their cabinetry. They spent $750 and needed 37.5 square feet, meaning that they spent roughly $20 per square foot on their countertops. Now that $20 per square foot number, that's very low for a countertop. These are butcher block countertops, and they're not being used that frequently because this is a cottage. So if this is your everyday working countertop, you should be budgeting a fair amount more. For the backsplash, they went cheap and cheerful with a really simple white subway tile, and they needed 42 square feet. Now, when you're dealing with tile, flooring, you need to allow for a little extra, what we call overage. Tiles are gonna get cut in half and then you can't reuse the rest of it, so there's gonna be some waste. So for a simple brick install and something like this, I suggest 10%, meaning that they ended up buying 46.2 square feet. They spent $330 on the backsplash, meaning that they spent roughly $7 per square foot. That's an appropriate amount to spend on a simple white backsplash. Next, we have our plumbing, a sink and a faucet. Quite simple. They spent $700 on the sink, it's a nice sill granite, and they spent $445 on the faucet, meaning they spent $1,145 all in for the plumbing. As for lighting, the only decorative or task lighting other than pot lights will be included in construction costs later. The only thing they have is one surface mount fixture. It cost $130. Next up, we have flooring. Now remember, the kitchen is 130 square feet, but we want to include for overage. So we're going to add 10%, meaning they bought 143 square feet of flooring for the kitchen, meaning that I didn't do the math to break that out. Hang on. Okay, 1714.57. They spent $1,714.57, meaning that they were spending $11.99 per square foot. That's a reasonable price for a good quality hardwood floor. Now, every project is going to have its unique little moments where people choose to splurge, so we're going to call those our nice to haves. In this kitchen, there are a couple of different ones. The first is they applied tongue and groove to the ceiling. There are 84 square feet of ceiling that have tongue and groove on it, but again, just like flooring, just like backsplash, we're building in an additional 10%. So they bought 92.4 square feet. They spent $322.48, meaning they spent about $3.50 per square foot on their tongue and groove. They also bought themselves a new front door for $826, and they bought some decorative shelves for $150. All of that adds up to $2,028.44 for their nice to haves. And our last category is going to be general construction, labor and supplies. So labor is the cost of installing your tiles, but the supplies are also going to be like the grout, the pipes that go in the walls, the electrical wires that connect your light switch to your fixture, the drywall, all that kind of stuff. And for our calculations, we also include recess lighting or pot lighting. So these prices will be based on per square foot. In this case, the client spent $110 per square foot. For 130 square feet, that means they spent $14,300 on the construction costs. So all of those categories added together totals $27,959.01. But we're not done yet. I don't care how simple you think your project is. You absolutely must add a contingency fee to the numbers that you add up in those different categories. The contingency fee is going to cover things that you don't know are behind your walls. When you open them up and you find water damage, you're going to need a little bit of extra money. When you need 32 square feet of tiles, but they're only sold in 6 square feet per box, you're going to need to buy 36 square feet. You're also probably going to have to pay somebody to deliver those to you. That's where your contingency fee comes in. So for this project, we did 10%, meaning that we set aside roughly an additional $2,800. That brings the total cost of this project to $30,754.91. That makes the cost per square foot of this project $236.58. And that is our low budget project.